I'll read a little bit from the chapter that is called Request Prayer, because there's a beautiful request prayer in the Chenrezig sadhana, that we do. And if you really put your heart in it, it's very, very meaningful to do this. So at the beginning, I just talked generally about making a request and what that means. So I'll read that. So the request prayer to Chenrezig fills our heart with inspiration when we say it with sincerity. An American nun set the English translation of the verses to the melody that we use when we sing it. From the words, it may sound as if we're requesting Chenrezig to please do this and that for us. However, what we're actually doing is projecting Chenrezig outside of ourselves, projecting our own potential and good qualities outside of ourselves, and then making requests to our own Buddha nature, our own potential. We also request the beings who are Chenrezig, who have spiritual realizations that we ordinary beings don't have. This invigorates us to practice so that we may become Buddhas and possess the same wisdom, compassion, and skillful means that Chenrezig has. We ask Chenrezig, who embodies our own Buddha nature in its completely purified and endowed form, to cleanse our minds from beginningless defilements and to grant us realizations of the path to enlightenment. The beings who are already Chenrezig can't actually do that, but some kind of dependent arising process occurs when we are with holy beings or in holy sites. In other words, a holy being can't, just on their own transform our mind. There has to be a dependently arising process where part of it comes with us, from our own effort, our own merit, our own purification. Okay? But when we're with holy beings or in holy places, something does affect our mind. Many people have told me that even though they've never met His Holiness the Dalai Lama before, they start to cry when he walks into the auditorium, and they have no reason why. Sometimes people have significant spiritual experiences when they meditate in Bodh Gaya, India, the place where the Buddha attained full awakening. Our mind opens up there, and we may have deep experiences of the teachings that before were merely words to us. The more openness and faith that we have in the Buddha's qualities, and the more we recite this request prayer, the more our minds will open to that kind of inspiration or blessing. That inspiration or opening is a dependent arising. I can't exactly explain how it works, but we will come to understand it from our own experiences as we practice. I once asked His Holiness the Dalai Lama about receiving inspiration or blessing, and he responded that it depends on the mind of the person requesting and also on the mind of the beings who are being requested. He said that someone might pray to the president of the country, but then he questioned, does the president have the ability to grant you blessings? Can the president from his or her side inspire or transform your mind? Someone like a president doesn't have the ability to affect us spiritually because he or she is confused and trapped in cyclic existence, just as we are. But when we request the Buddhas or highly realized spiritual masters, they can help us spiritually. For example, it is said that someone without realizations can speak about the Dharma for hours, but nobody gets inspired. Whereas someone with realizations can say a few words, and the audience benefits greatly and is inspired to practice. Even if someone practices and has just small experiences of the Dharma, his or her words carry more force than those of someone who only knows the teachings intellectually or academically. Okay, something happens due to the power of the mind. So when we make requests to beings such as Chenrezig who are free from samsara, some kind of energy can be transmitted. I don't know if this can be explained through scientific tools, But I did read that studies have shown that people for whom others pray recover more swiftly from surgery and injury than others. There are many things that science can't explain, at least not now. Maybe one day scientists will analyze the brains of nuns and monks and find the chemical of Chenrezi's special blessing. Then someone could patent it and make a pill. I'm joking. Okay? So I have to tell a funny story, embarrassing story regarding this. I was reading a couple of days ago a booklet by a Chinese master about Kuan Yin. And he was really saying, if you recite Kuan Yin's name, in Chinese you recite Namo Quan Shi and Pusa, and you really recite it vigorously and don't let your mind stray from it and really cultivate a deep connection with Kuan Yin. Then when you're in trouble, and you remember Kuan Yin can help you, but it depends on your prior connection and your remembering at that time, because so often, we feel very diligent and then something happens and we go, what do I do now? And we don't think of, our practice. So I had read that just before I went to bed. And I very seldom have bad dreams, but that night I dreamt that somebody was, I was driving a car and other people were in it, and somebody was chasing us. And so I was driving this car and going up and down and in and out, trying to get away from this person. And when I woke up, I thought, in my dream, I didn't think of calling out to Kuan Yin. It's like, yes, you can read and say all you want, but there you are, even in a dream, and you don't think of doing that at that time. So, it needs a lot of training and practice, to really keep the Buddha foremost in our mind, and even just to keep compassion foremost in our mind. If I had remembered, I might have stopped the car, gotten out, and said, why are you chasing me? What is it you want? Yeah? Okay, well, try again next time I have a dream. Maybe I'll remember then. But this is why we practice.